Hey everybody, Zoom 360 here on the go, and today is a day off from the office, so I finally mustered, I'm not sure if that's the right word, but I finally gathered the strength, the energy, whatever you want to call it, to go see Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So this channel is not per se like a movie review channel. It is like an adventure channel, like, you know, get up, get out and do it, and all that good stuff. But every once in a while there are movies that are not just like, you know, regular movies. You know, those movies are like an event. Okay, those movies are like Star Wars. Those of you who are old enough, Lord of the Rings, movies like The Hobbit, movies like you know, DC movies, like, you know, Marvel movies, you know. So these movies are like movie events. You know, it's like an event. So sometimes I'm going to cover these movies here about, like, you know, what I thought, because I think they kind of fall into the get up, get out and do it, because I'm going out to go see it. It's like an adventure. This is Star Wars. It's not like Steel Magnolias. I'm not sure that's a good example, but you know what I'm saying? It's a movie event. So yeah, so I have a lot of errands to run. Suki is at the shop. She's getting fixed. There's quite a bit of things that we have to do to get ready for the next trip, like, you know, brake light switch is being replaced, the oil pan is being replaced because I started to have a leak on there, rear diff is being serviced, and all blah blah blah, all that stuff. It should be ready sometimes this afternoon. So yeah, Star Wars. What did I think about it? It's not that I don't trust myself, it's just that I don't trust myself. We're good. It is a gorgeous day today. I have to admit, it looks good like that though. The car is dirty. So, we have to clean this car today. It is filthy. It's starting to make me sick because I have this issue with like dust. Whenever there's too much dust around me, I start, okay. So, first thing about the Star Wars thing, I think it's about that time for this car to go to maintenance too. I think I need a new battery. Make sure, because you know this thing. The first thing I noticed about the new Star Wars movie, well, not so new anymore because it's like, you know, February, so I'm sure that whoever planned to see it has gone and seen it already. There's no need for me to warn you about spoilers. So the first thing I noticed about the Rise of Skywalker is that they put a whole lot of movies together. It's like there was several plots on there that could have been their own films. Like the whole thing surrounded was you know, just the whole plot surrounding, you know, just the Emperor Palpatine. Like that alone, there was enough material there to make its own film. The scene where they showed Luke was training Leia, this is a movie I think that they should have made prior to The Last Jedi, because we could have at least understand why suddenly that you know, Leia is doing all these Force things, because we didn't see that in other movies before. So that's a movie in itself. What else? There was just a bunch of stuff. It's like, because it's like they took at least 4 movies and they compressed it into one. So that's what I noticed about it. Now again, I'm not a per se what you would call a specialist in Star Wars, as in I know every little detail, but I've been watching it for a while. I'm a fan. I think I know a fair amount to be able to look at this and share my thoughts about it, I guess. But anyway, let's go to the storage area. So,
have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
So as we keep on moving with this Star Wars thing, my favorite character from the movie is definitely Kylo Ren, because I think from all of the characters, that's the character that they actually took time to develop. Because you can relate to his struggles, you kind of feel for him, and so definitely, yeah. So this is the evidence of the oil leak that I had. So that's getting fixed right now. So I think that you know, Kylo Ren from the 3 films, he's definitely the one character that I actually like, because they actually took time to actually, you know, just to show you all the things that he's struggling with, and they actually took time to properly develop him. So Rey, I still can't relate to her. She because she's too perfect. I guess that's what they call a Mary Sue. She does everything perfectly. I mean, me personally, I can't relate to that because I'm not perfect. So it's just that she comes across, ever since from The Last Jedi, it kind of carried over. It's like she hasn't earned anything. She just goes from being this scavenger and then meets this Sith Lord, and while fighting with this Sith Lord, and you know, suddenly she gets in touch with the Force, and all of a sudden she's as good as a Sith Lord. I just don't, that has never sat well with me since The Force Awakens, and it carried through The Last Jedi, and I just couldn't relate to her. I think as a Jedi, she's a very weak character, but that's me. You know, to me, she was a bore. One reason why that I just couldn't go see it, or I just wasn't interested to go see it at the very beginning, is because a lot of YouTubers whom I respect their thoughts on movies did not like it, so that kind of killed it for me. There were claims that Finn was somewhat of a beta orbiter. Every time I say that, I start cracking up. He was much of a cuck, if you will. I don't know. I did. It's like he liked Rey, but was too afraid to approach her on that angle and saying what is feeling. And then there was this secret that he was supposed to tell her that he never actually told her. It's like, I don't know. To me, Finn was Finn. He didn't come across as an orbiter, but he just didn't come across as that. People complain about certain scenes, like they were too woke. Yeah, there was some wokeness in it. Yes, there was a tribute there for the LGBT community. Got it. I mean, come on. We knew that was coming. You know that's gonna be in there. It's 2020. This thing is it's it's here to stay. Surprisingly, I didn't feel bored watching that movie. It's definitely better than The Last Jedi. I didn't feel bored at all. I stayed awake. I especially loved the beginning of it. The beginning when like, you know, Kylo was just slaughtering these people at some planet, and then chase down where the Emperor was, and that part was a really good start of the film for me. Princess Leia, she's cool, I guess. I just never bought into her being a Jedi Master, and supposedly she was training Rey, but they skipped all that, because again they try to show a whole bunches of movies in one. It's just that I never really bought into that because there's no film record of Leia being extensively trained by Luke and became more powerful than Luke. It's just, yeah, I mean, where did that come from? I just don't get it. What else? Yikes. Lando came back. I think the last time we saw Lando was was The Emperor Strikes Back, or, well, I think both Emperor Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi. He wasn't in the movie long enough though. So he showed up, and I mean, when they first saw him when he was inside of that big gigantic moving tank, if you will, and then they saw him again and then we saw him again at the meeting, and then he was in the end. So you know, he didn't really, yeah, I didn't see something like, I didn't like experience, oh my gosh, Lando's back. I didn't. Okay, so what? I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people said it was. It wasn't definitely a great Star Wars movie, like, wow, that was awesome. I think that it was okay. I don't think that it's gonna go down in the ages of as the greatest Star Wars film ever made. I don't think it's going to be, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Yeah, so I think if I had to give it a score, I think if I had to give Star Wars a score, I'd give Star Wars, I'd say it's a 6 out of 10, because I wasn't bored. I mean, when I saw it, I wasn't bored. It you know, kept me awake. It was interesting enough. The story, the way that they've compressed all these separate plots and they molded them all in as one movie, I think it worked out okay. Another thing I could comment on, I'd say would be Emperor Palpatine. The Emperor. What to say about Emperor Palpatine? I think the whole thing with having Palpatine here, there, I don't even see why he was in the movie, because he was just at one location. I guess he was there for a while. He was hibernating, if you will. He didn't move around too much. He stayed in one spot, and then he was trying to get Kylo to kill Rey, and then he wanted Rey to strike him down so that he can live through her, whatever. And then when she refused, then somehow he realized he could draw the energy of both Ben and Rey, and then regenerated himself and then he was shooting lightning at them for a while, and then she was able to reverse the lightning back to him with the lightsaber. And then again, I mean, that scene at the end there, that's another reason why I just can't relate to Rey. I just can't really relate to Rey, because it's like, she's perfect, man. She can't do anything wrong. So, though I know why that she's portrayed like that, but it's annoying. But yeah, it's like, I mean, and all he used was force lightning. I think it would have been better if both Ben and Rey being there, that Emperor Palpatine or Darth Sidious, whichever that you want to use, that scene was a perfect setting, I think, for an epic lightsaber duel. But that's just me, because just like I think they failed to bring back Luke Skywalker correctly with a poorly choreographed lightsaber scene towards the end of The Last Jedi. I mean, this is the return of Darth Sidious, right? And I think he fights, though in the Revenge of the Jedi, he fought with, not the Return of the Jedi, though in the Revenge of the Sith, he only fought Yoda with only one lightsaber. But Darth Sidious traditionally fights with 2 lightsabers. So it would have been nice if they had him fight like that. And because the way he died was just very cheesy, because he was shooting Rey with lightning, and Rey used the lightsabers to reverse the lightning to hit him back, which doesn't make sense, because if he's shooting the lightning and she finds a way to reflect it back to him, wouldn't he just have stopped? Because if you stop shooting the lightning, then you're not shooting yourself anymore. But that's just me. I just don't get it. I think that the Emperor's Return was weak at best, but still, I gave it overall 6 out of 10, because I came out not feeling like, what the hell, because that's what I felt like when I came out of the theater after watching The Last Jedi. It's like, oh my gosh, I just watched a bad movie, what a waste of my time. But I couldn't say I felt that way. I kind of was like, it was better this time around. But to say it's the greatest Star Wars movie, like, wow, I need to see that again. No, I've seen Star Wars several times as a child. I've seen The Empire Strikes Back several times. I've seen Return of the Jedi several times. I've seen Episode 1, 2, and 3 several times. I actually like the prequels. My only downside about them is that Darth Maul died way too early, because he was a great Sith Lord. I mean, he made the first movie, as far as I'm concerned. It's like Darth Maul is the icing on the cake. I'm glad that I went to see it as a matinee. I didn't pay as much to see it. I didn't think it was worth the full, complete movie price, and I was right. So, yeah, so that's my thoughts on Star Wars. As I'm going to clean this car, then I gotta pick up Suki from the shop and keep on preparing for the upcoming trip in March. The place where I'm going is about 20 hours away from here. Oh my God, it's gonna be one heck of a drive. There is a place I'm going to visit this coming Sunday. Today's Friday, so I'm going to take you along for the ride as usual. So this is it, man. This is my thoughts on it. I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe, and share. This is Zoom360 inviting you to get up, get out, and do it. Don't wait until you're old to travel. Start doing it now. Get in that car and take off. Get in that plane and fly off. Get up, get out, and do it. This is Zoom360, and see you next time. And I'm out.